Well, here's what we're being told about Hamas's proposal for a ceasefire. In a first stage of around 6 weeks, it would involve the release of sick, elderly and female Israeli hostages in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Israeli forces would also crucially have to withdraw from a key corridor that they've created, effectively splitting the Gaza Strip in half. And during that 6-week period, there would be further discussions on a permanent end to the war. As you say, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said these demands are unrealistic, but he's also decided to send a delegation to Qatar this weekend for further discussions. He's also, though, as you say, approved plans for an invasion of Rafah. There's been a lot of international pushback against that. More than half of Gaza's population is now living in that city, having fled there from elsewhere. The Israeli military say they're going to create humanitarian islands where civilians will be evacuated to. But given the extremely high death toll that we've seen so far already, there's a lot of skepticism around that. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that he's yet to see any concrete plans for how civilians will be kept safe. I should stress, though, at the moment there's no indication of when this offensive could begin.
And we've also seen the arrival of this first ship carrying lots of aid.
Yeah, that's right. This ship, loaded with supplies by the charity The World Central Kitchen, arrived in Gaza today. According to the Israeli military, it unloaded around 115 tons of food and water that's being distributed in northern Gaza, where the humanitarian situation is at its most dire. Now, that aid is very badly needed, but it's just a tiny proportion of what's needed. I mean, it's the equivalent of around 6 or 7 trucks, and that's why you've seen UN figures and aid workers really criticizing Israel and pressing Israel to open up more land crossings. Last night, around Gaza City, in northern Gaza, well, we saw around 20 Palestinians killed whilst waiting for an aid convoy. Local officials said they were shot by Israeli forces. Israeli forces have said they were killed by Palestinian gunmen. It's unclear exactly what happened, but the images we've seen of blood-stained bags of flour really speak to the awful suffering taking place.
Handa, thanks very much. Thank you.